Hello again, everybody. Last time we learned how to do the starter, and now I have prepared the starter from yesterday. I will show you also how it's done. I have prepared it and it's ready to make the bread. Now that we have our starter ready, so we have to activate our starter to be able to make bread. How do we do that? Well, I'm going to use 30 grams of starter. And we add 150 grams of water. First we add the water, we mix it. Now we add our flour, 150 grams of flour. Always the water and the flour should be equal. Now we mix it all up. I will put a rubber band so you can see how much it rises, and I just cover it. I don't close it tightly, I just put the lid on and leave it until it will rise up to here. We're making a simple bread, easy one for you to see how it works. Okay, first we have to weigh our water, and I will put 300 grams of good drinking water. And then our starter is ready, so we have to put 180 grams of starter. You will see how it's going to swim. This is a test also for you to see how the starter floats over the water, and that means that our starter is good to make bread. Actually, it depends on your flour, what kind of flour you're using, because some flours, they can absorb more water. Some flours, they take less water. So this is something you have to find out by yourself by using and making bread. You'll see how it is. Okay, so now first we mix this all together to melt it with the water, and then we add our flour in the mixture. Now I will put my flour. I will put 450 grams of wheat flour. As the protein of the flour is higher, you'll get the better result for bread. Like mine is around 12%. When you are buying flour, always look in the box of the flour how much percentage protein it has in it. And I will add 50 grams of rye flour, because rye flour gives it a nice color, nice texture, and it gives it a good taste. Always I put a little bit too much, that's okay. This is all. Now you have to mix it all up. We mix it all up until all the flour gets wet. In this stage, I'd like to do it with the spoon, because then it sticks into your fingers and hands and you cannot take it out. To add the salt to the bread, we have to mix this and leave it for an hour. And after the hour, we will mix the salt inside the dough. We will add some more extra water with the salt together. Some people use up to 80% water with the flour. That makes it more liquid, but it's more difficult to handle. Because you're a new learner, so it's better to make the water less so that you can control your dough. This is all, and then you cover and you wait, you leave it for an hour. Now we start with our second bread, and the first one we did it with rye bread, and the second one we will do with the whole wheat mixture. Okay, this one we will do it with a mixer. If you have a mixer at home, it's much easier to do it. Now I add my water, 300 grams of water, and then I will add my starter. It sticks to the plastic cup, but it's okay. You can see how it's floating on the water. That means that it's really good. And now I add my 450 grams of flour. But first I have to mix this. We have to melt the starter with the water, mix it well. And then I will add my 450 grams of flour. White wheat flour. It's for bread flour. You always have to be accurate with your weighing because the water and the flour has to be in a good amount. So now I'm going to add my 50 grams of whole wheat flour. That's it. Before I start mixing with the mixer, I just want to mix a little bit so the flour doesn't jump around. Otherwise it will be so messy. Okay, now we start. We just mix it roughly because we have to make it stand for an hour before we put the salt in it. Okay. And we leave it for an hour. Now after waiting 1 hour, we are ready to put our salt and water. We're going to put 12 grams of salt. I'm using sea salt, which equals to 1 teaspoon actually, full 1 teaspoon. Okay. I'm going to put some water on it. I'm going to do my first dough by hand so that you can see how I mix my dough. But you must wet, otherwise it's a very sticky texture. You see how sticky it is. It's better also if you wet your hands. You have to stretch and fold. Stretch and fold. We will stretch and fold until it becomes a shiny and soft dough. Now you have to push it with your wrist, with this part of your hand. Push it and bring it back until the dough will start to get softer, and you will see it will start to become much easier to handle. When you fold it, you take it from this side, back again. Fold it, turn it around. And you see now the dough doesn't stick anymore to my hands or to the table. It starts to become really smooth and soft. And there's a test which I will teach you. You pick up your dough and you make, if you can see, look, it's stirring up, it's not ready yet. You can see how it starts to become stretchy, and this shows us that our dough is ready. See, it doesn't tear anymore. We put a little bit of olive oil on the base of this, and we take our dough, which you can see how it's became soft. Now for the folding stages. Now we will see the second bread, how we make it in the mixer. You remember we put our dough inside it for 1 hour. Now it's 1 hour is up. We will put again our 1 teaspoon of salt, a little bit of water just to wet the salt. Okay. Now we will mix it until it becomes a nice soft dough. I'll put a little bit of olive oil to my hands so that it doesn't stick. And we pick it up. You see how the dough has become so soft and stretchy. So this shows us that our dough is really good. We put a little bit of olive oil inside our cup, And then we take our dough. As you can see, it's soft and ready. After we utilize our dough, we pass to the folding stage. Now the folding stage is every half an hour. That means 4 foldings, 2 hours. In the end of 2 hours, our dough is ready for the last folding, shaping, and then we put it in the fridge for 18 hours. Now I will show you 2 folding stages. You can either fold it, but you have to wet your hands first with a little bit of water. We fold it this way. We pull it and fold it over the dough on 4 sides. And we leave it for another 30 minutes. Now this is the other, you can fold it also in this way. You can fold it like this. Okay, and after 30 minutes we will do another folding. Now we have made the 3 foldings and this is the 4th one. So we will make the shaping now. Stretch it out. We stretch it out. And then we will fold it to make a round shape, because we will put it in the round mold. This one we will put it in the round mold. Turn it around. We have to make it really tight. Pull it like this towards you with your hands. It will become much better. Okay, this one is ready. To be able to stick on it some, I have prepared oats and sesame seeds. So we will wet a cloth a little bit, and then we will take our dough, we put it here, and then we will put it here. And then we have to close it, make like stitch. Oops. Okay, now it's done. We will put it in the fridge for 18 hours. Now we do the other shaping. We will put some flour on the bench. Just turn it over, it will go down by itself. Now this one, we have to make it another shape, because we have our long Benetton. We fold it like this. We fold it like this. And then we tuck it in towards you, really tight. We will also wet and then we will replace it also in the long Benetton. And then we do the stitching, close the parts, don't leave anything open. It's ready to go to the fridge for 18 hours. After I have folded and put it in my mold, then I cover it with this, because this is bamboo and it has inside it air passages which it can breathe, and it will give it a nice shape to the dough. And then I cover it with the nylon bag and I put it in the fridge like this. I will also cover this one. And I put my plastic bag over it. And then it's ready to go to the fridge, both of them, for 18 hours in 4 degrees. Yes, after 18 hours of cold fermentation, and then after I took them out of the fridge, I left them around 1.5 to 2 hours until they become to this stage. How do I understand that they are ready? Because you can see how they bounce. When I press it, they bounce. You see? Because if they're not done, when I put my finger, it will not come back out. So I know that they are ready to go to the oven. Now I will put some semolina flour, which will help it to slip back to the oven. And I have my stone in the oven, which is heated before 1 hour. It's heated really well. So we'll see how it's going to come out. Now I will show you how to cut. My blade is, you can see that it's curved a little bit. So I will take my blade. Actually, it's slipping a little bit. Okay. Okay, now it's ready to go to the oven. We have to put some water for the steam. Now let's do our other bread. I always powder the basket with rice flour. Rice flour is quite good, it doesn't stick. I'm going to I will make a small, pretty shape, ready to go to the oven. But this time we will cook it inside a pot. I usually use a Tefal pot because you have to cover it. And you have to cook it covered 20 minutes and then we open the cover another 20 minutes. So people who doesn't have a stone, oven stone, you can cook it inside a heavy, thick pot. Now we just slide it in, and you don't need a steam for this because it's covered, it already has steam, it will make its own steam. So we will put it in together. Okay, now I put my second bread inside a thick pot, which doesn't need any steam in it because it's covered. So I will cook it 20 minutes covered, and then I will open the cover and I will keep it for another 15 minutes. You can see when we open the cover, now you can see we opened it after 20 minutes. We will put it back again, uncovered, to become a little bit more brown. We have to look at the temperature of our bread. If it's between 90 and 100 centigrade, then it's cooked. So now it's over 90, that's great. It's so crispy, you can hear the sound. That's beautiful. Now this is our second bread. Now it's, you can see between 90 and 100 centigrade, it means cooked. If you have a thermometer like this, it's really easy to check your bread if it's cooked or not. Now both of our breads are cooked and they're out of the oven. And there's a lovely smell in the kitchen, and they sound amazing. One of them we add rye in it, and one of them we did it with whole wheat bread. The stages that we have passed, I'm sure you have many questions in your mind, but if you follow closely, you can see that it's actually not so difficult to make your own bread at home. So I think after you see the result and the beautiful bread that came out, I'm sure that you will try. And please try, because it's really, really healthy and it's delicious.